Hello, everybody. My name is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and I'm a business and marketing mentor. And today you are joining us on Breaking Barriers in Business. And our episode today is how to be a leader in your network marketing company. And joining me today is my co-host, Chris Kirkpatrick. And Chris, if you will introduce yourself and tell everybody how to connect with you, a little bit about yourself, and we will get started on the subject.
Fantastic. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm Chris Kirkpatrick. I'm a financial coach and network marketing trainer and top distributor with a company. Network marketing is just my passion. I love connecting with people, teaching people how to create extra streams of income. You know, as a financial coach, the thing that I found the most is people didn't really care about, like, what do I do with my money? How do I invest it? What really people cared about was, like, where do I find some money? Because people are just broke these days. I mean, 95% of Americans are not on pace to be able to retire and maintain their standard of living. People 55 and older, 55 plus, 92% of people 55 plus are not going to be able to retire and maintain their standard of living if something drastic doesn't change in their life. Well, guess what? Network marketing is one of the only areas that I can think of, that I've found in all my research, where people can just take control of their own life and say, you know what, come hell or high water, I'm making this work, and I'm going to reach my financial objectives, and I'm going to create the life that I love and create the life that I want and deserve and all that stuff. You know, and it really, to me, that's what makes me so psyched and passionate about the industry as a whole. And so today we're going to talk about leadership. Like, when you get involved in a network marketing company, what does that even mean?
Yeah, and how many times have you heard, well, it was my upline's fault that I failed?
Yeah, and then I
I
slap
like that one.
slap that right at him. No, I'm just joking. I've never slapped anybody. So here's the deal. I am in a company and I don't have an upline. Right, so I'm direct to the company. You know, like, there is no upline, there's no, support, and there's no, you just make it work. You know that I can tell you what, you go listen to Ray Higdon, John and Nadia Melton, you listen to Eric Worre, you listen to any of these guys, they'll all tell you the most successful people in the world are going to make it work no matter what. That's why I started a company called Succeed Anyway. Like, there's no matter what, everybody, like, the excuses with my upline doesn't support me, or there's not enough sales tools, or there's this or there's that. I got news for you. If you can't do it without them, you're not going to be able to do it with them most of the time. And it really is just, those sales tools are great enhancers, but they're not going to make or break your business. What's going to make or break your business is you. Everywhere you go, there you are. The grass is not greener on the other side. And it's just one of those things, like, you attract what you are and where you are and who you are and all that stuff. So, like, if you're having a struggle, if you're having a hard time, if you're struggling in your business, it's a matter of developing yourself. It's a matter of becoming who you want to attract to your business.
Exactly. I think a lot of people have the misconception that they get in network marketing and that they're automatically overnight going to be successful. They haven't built the skills that they need. They haven't built a customer base, which we typically refer to as a tribe or a community. And these are people that are attracted to you because of what you do and the value that you offer people. And, part of being a leader is learning things, even if you're brand new, spanking brand new, learning things and then sharing it. And forming a community that wants to get that information.
Well, you know what I love about this is, I come from the financial industry. I was the head of recruiting and development for a Fortune 1000 financial company. And the funny thing is, people like to rip on network marketing because the failure rate is so high. Like, look at it. The failure rate in network marketing over a 5-year period for most companies is actually lower. Right, like, more people succeed in network marketing than, as far as are profitable in their business after 5 years, than people in the financial services industry. Right, and nobody criticizes the financial services industry, How about the real estate industry? What's the success rate of people joining the real estate industry compared to network marketing? I don't know
How many people went bankrupt when the mortgage industry?
I don't know the statistics on the success rate of like the 5-year success rate of realtors or real estate agents when they first start up, but I do know it's low. I know that it's not good, even the 3-year rate. I was actually talking to the real estate agent on my team. She's on my network marketing team. She's also a really high level real estate agent in Vermont, and she's telling me the abysmal, or the abysmal failure rate, like such a high failure rate in the real estate industry. Yet everybody glorifies the real estate industry, and everybody glorifies the financial services industry, and it's just funny to me. But here's why network marketing doesn't have to be the same way, and here's why I believe the failure rate isn't as high.
Ask a question real quick before I see what your opinion is. Do you think it's because people see network marketing companies as not a real business?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's probably the case, but I'll say this, is that the network marketing is only as good as the people involved on your team, right? So if you go out and if you have a association with network marketing, a negative association with network marketing, chances are you have a negative association with a person in a time and a feeling surrounded by that person, and experience with a person that had to do with network marketing, not the industry itself. Fair enough?
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better.
And so when you look at that, it's I don't know, like network marketing, I love it because it's the purest form of business. There's no hiding, there's no managing, there's no I'm getting a salary and I'm just going to tell people what to do or whatever. It is strictly performance driven. Now, that's a good and a bad thing, because if you're not a performer, you're going to hate it.
Yeah, and those are the ones that typically fall off pretty quickly, because they don't have the stamina or the willpower to hold themselves to the fire, because now there's no boss. I mean, literally in network marketing, your upline is there to guide you, but they're not your boss. They don't do your work for you. And I think that's a misconception too, is that the upline is going to do everything for me. And those are the ones that typically end up failing or just getting out or having a negative attitude about network marketing, because it just didn't play out like their expectations.
I tell you what, my mentor is one of the most successful network marketers in the history of network marketing. When I first started working with him, he made a comment to me, and I kind of laughed at him and called him out on it and said, "You're full of you know what." And the comment was, "You know what, Chris? I'm not good at motivating people. I've never met anybody in my life that I can motivate to actually go out and do something." And I was like, that's BS, man. Like, you can motivate people. Like, listen to you. Like, you've got all the sayings and the talks and this and that, and I'm like, I motivate people all the time. Like, I'm so like, whatever. And he's like, I promise you, you can't motivate shit. Like, like, it's just not happening. And you know what? It's true. The more I learn about it, you can't motivate anybody to do anything. They either got it or they don't. Now, you can give people the tools to go out and invest in themselves, to make some changes, and that happens slowly or quickly. I guess for some people, it happened real quickly for me. But when people make that decision, it goes. But it's not coming from you. It's coming from them. It's all internal. It's our job to go out and find the people, give the tools, offer the resources, create duplication. And that's where videos come in. That's where books come in. That's where CDs come in. That's where audios, all these things that we surround people with. And being a leader is not about motivating people. Being a leader, we were talking about this a little bit before off air. I'll get into it now, is being a leader. A lot of people think like, hey, I'm going to get into the network marketing industry and I'm going to go recruit 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm going to tell those people to recruit 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm just going to tell them to do it. And and then I'm going to tell those people to do the same thing and the same thing. And look at you. When you see the diagram, it looks like you're going to be rich in like 10 seconds.
Oh, overnight success.
And it don't happen that way, folks. I promise you. Like,
nope.
If it worked that way, it would be easy. right? And nothing worth doing is easy, and this sure isn't easy. So that tells me it's worth doing. And you know what? Like, here's the reality. When you get involved in network marketing, nobody wants to do what you're doing. Now, they may I'm not saying people aren't going to get into your business. You'll sign people up, but the challenge is once people get going into your business and they realize what they need to do to be successful, 90% of them, you'll have your 10% that are like go-getters and like, you know, you don't got to do anything for, but the other 90%, they're going to be like, oh man, that's not for me. I'm going to check out. I'm good. Like whatever, I'll be over here. You do your thing. Like, please don't bug me. Maybe I'll show up for the Tuesday night meetings and the cookies or whatever. But like, that's it, you know, but so where network marketing goes wrong and it is when there's poor leadership and people who don't want to acknowledge the fact that, listen, most people don't want to do what they need to do to be successful until you need to make it real for them, because there's this adage, or like people psychologically, in order to be successful in network marketing, people need a 5-to-1 positive experience to negative experience ratio. And what's a negative experience? A negative experience is somebody saying no. A negative experience is somebody going off of auto ship, a teammate dropping off, their friends and family laughing at them, or whatever it is about the fact that they're doing this stupid pyramid scheme, whatever it is, right? Those are all negative experiences. Well, guess what? You need 5 positive to 1 negative. Well, what's a positive experience? If you're not being a leader, I promise you're not going to have enough positive experiences. Well, because think about it. What do you get, Wendy, when you get into this business? What are the questions you get, or comments that you get from your friends? You get, oh, I'm not going to do that. It's a pyramid scheme. Oh, I'm not going to do that because, you know what? The person who signed me up is going to make money on everything I do, and yet they're going to go work at AutoZone or something like that, or some other like, grocery store, and they're going to work the cashier register, and nobody above them who's paying them, minimum wage is making any money off their efforts, right? But the bottom line is, when you look at it from the perspective of, hey, listen, leaders, we got to acknowledge the fact that these guys, like, they're scared. They don't know what they don't know. They don't even know what it takes to work that hard, or like what it takes to focus their energy. So we need to make it real for them. We need to make it positive for them and create positive experiences and counter all the negative outside influences they're going to get. So what do we need to do to buy that? Well,
that's why it's so important to, in any way, shape, or form you can make, as a leader, you can make it duplicatable for your team. Are there like fast start orientation things that you can come up with? Anything, videos that you can do that your team can share to make it easier. A lot of people like a little bit of script to be able to talk to customers because they're just getting started and they don't know what to say. There's so many things that a leader can do for their team to give those positive experiences. So like when one of your teammates comes to you and says, I really don't know how to talk to people, what should I do? You've got this thing that you can send them and say, hey, just use this script right here for a little bit and see if that helps you overcome your little hump talking to people.
Well, let me tell you this, when I first started in the network marketing industry, was only a couple years ago, okay? And I was in the financial industry doing my thing as a recruiter, and had my own financial company. And the bottom line is, when I was first exposed to this, I was like, I had the opportunity to work with an icon in the industry. So I'm of the mindset like, hey, you want to be successful, go out and find people who have the life you want and emulate it until you have the same thing. And so to me, this guy who I'm now mentoring with, he is the pinnacle of everything I want in my life, So yeah. I was like, okay, God, what do I do? I guess I'm following this guy, like, whatever. Okay, here we go. And you know what? Within 6 months, I'd built a top 1% business in that organization. Okay. Within 6 months, I had a top 1% business in that organization. And here's the deal. When you look at that and you think about, okay, hey, like how does that happen in such a short period of time? Well, it happened because I was doing exactly what my mentor told me to do. And one of the most important things of that was, example isn't the main thing, it's the only thing. And the biggest The biggest challenge that people have when they get into the networking industry is it's real easy to sign people up if you're a good salesperson. It is. It's actually not that hard. But what's hard is keeping people. I don't care how many people you sign up. I care about how many people you keep, because that's really what matters. And quite frankly, if you're doing these drive-by signings and just signing people up and getting bonuses and then they're crashing off, and you're not putting your energy and effort and being a leader to keep them around and help them be successful, then you're what's giving the industry a bad name. You know, like it just is what it is. I'm not calling any specific people out, but that's the reality.
Yeah,
and
if you join a company and you want to form a team, you better be prepared to spend some time with your teammates, have some, team meetings and, like I said, documents and resources for your team ready to go. Because if not, they're just going to flounder, and when they start floundering, they quit.
Yeah, well, that's true. And so here's what I mean. Nobody wants to do this until. Okay, that's kind of like a phrase. It's a mantra that I tell myself every day. Okay, and I would encourage you, if you're in the network marketing industry, to do the same thing. Nobody wants to do this until. And what that means is when somebody comes into your business, usually what people do is they sign them up and they say, "Let me help you make a list." And they make a list with the person, and they say, "Okay, now you call the list, and I'll be here if you need me for anything. You call me when you're ready for a three-way call." Well, now, Wendy, let me ask you this. Who's better when you first joined my team? Who's better at calling people to talk about the opportunity in the product? Me or you?
Yeah,
me.
The person above you.
Exactly. So if I'm above you, right, why am I going to put my business in your hands, right? Does that make sense? Exactly. Why would I do that? So, like, here's the reality. It is, we got to serve people. The best way to serve people, it's the learn, do, teach mindset. People don't go do until they learn how to do it. However, the best way to learn is by doing, right? So that makes it challenging. So what most people do is they say, well, go out there, throw them in the deep end. I hope you can tread water fast. And most people, the reality, most people sink. And so what we do is say, hey, listen, welcome to the team. Let's make a list. Let's talk about that list. Now, and I always get a gauge from people. What are you comfortable with? What are your comfort levels? Because if you're good with this, let's make all these calls together, right? Let's get on the phone. I'll be able to listen to you. Listen, you know what? Maybe you make the calls. I listen to you. I can give you kind of like on-demand coaching while you're on the phone call. Or, and some people are good with that. Some people, it kind of freaks them out while you're talking in the middle of it. And some people, I just say, hey, listen, I want you to call them. You make the calls, but I want to listen. I want to hear what you're saying for the first 10, 15 calls. Because I can then, at the end of each call, coach you, right? Because here's the deal. There's no better skill than being able to do that. Because no matter where you go, no matter what's going on in your life, you're never going to have financial problems if you can just get on the phone and do that with people.
And I'll tell you another thing that I've done with my clients is, and actually my teammates, is I've actually Zoomed, which is basically like Skype, shared my screen, had them talking to people on Facebook, and actually helping them with what to say, because there are those people that do not like the telephone. They want to talk directly on social media. Yeah. So as a leader, I've said, okay, that's your thing. That's what we'll do. Get on Facebook, find somebody to talk to. Let's start a conversation. Right. And, it's immediate coaching because I'm right there with them live. Right. And so here's the deal. When you first sign somebody up, help them make that list, but you got to help them make the calls. You got to coach them. You got to be there to support them. And you got to, like, when I say nobody wants to do this until, I'm going to say nobody wants to do this until they have a little momentum. Nobody wants to do this until they believe in themselves. Belief is the number one reason people succeed in this. When you have belief in your product and the opportunity, and belief in yourself, more importantly, that you can actually do this. Because the reality is, nobody's going to put 100% of effort into anything they don't truly believe they can accomplish, right? So absolutely, that right there, guys, you got to believe. Our last episode was on belief, and that's what it's all about. And so you got to believe, and as a leader, if they don't believe in themselves, they got to be able to borrow your belief in yourself, in your belief in the company, and in your belief in them until they actually have it for themselves. And so as a leader, it's your job to do whatever you need to get them there. I don't care if you as a leader have to make 100% of the phone calls for them, right, in their stead,
without them being there. If they're so busy and they just have a list of 30 people that they just haven't had the time to reach out to, whatever, you make the calls. You say, hey, I'm working with Wendy, and you know what? She's super excited about this, and she gave me your number, thought you might like to try it. No pressure whatsoever. She thought it would be a good fit for you. I'd love to send you a free sample. You try it out. I'd love to follow up with you in 3 days, whatever. You know, like, it doesn't need to be super formal. Just, you know, no sales pitching. You're not attached to the outcome, all the stuff we've been talking about, but you just do the work for them, because they just don't have the confidence. They don't make the calls because they don't believe it's going to work. Right?
Yeah, and I see so many leaders that are like, well, I can't take on, you know, my teammates' work because I have my own recruiting to do.
Okay, and that's fair. That's a fair. My response to that is, if that's your problem, you're not structuring your business properly.
Exactly, because your teammates' success that's underneath you helps you grow as a business. So, you know, once you get a few people in, if you're not nurturing that downline, then
Totally.
you know it's going to go bye-bye anyway.
Totally. Yeah, and that's it. You know, sorry, I got a cold here. If you really want to have true passive income from this, you gotta build it so you have leaders. The people who are the biggest leaders in network marketing that make the most money are the people who trained and developed the most leaders who are making the most money. So, you know, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. So what's your job? Your job isn't to sell product. I mean, yeah, we need to sell product. I mean, that's part of the industry. The FTC, you know, is really, you know, putting it down that you need to make sure that you have a compensation plan that requires the sale of product. So my encouragement there is just get involved with the product that kind of sells itself and speaks for itself, and you know that people are going to want to be customers of, regardless of if they're in the business or not. That's another topic, but make sure that what you're doing is building other people up. You know, focus your time and energy on developing other leaders, because if you're not selling product, you're developing people. And when you develop people and you develop your team and system, it's all going to come together. It may take a little while at the beginning. This is the challenge. People go, well, you know, they think it's a get rich quick. Well, no, it's not. It's not get rich quick.
And you know, a lot of people will drop out within their first 30 days because they don't want to pay their auto ship or what have you. But that's where I think a lot of times when we're recruiting, we maybe make some mistakes and say, you know, oh, well, you'll get your auto ship, you know, covered so quickly. And they don't, you know, unless there's a certain opportunity, maybe to where they get a bonus right away or something like that.
Well,
and so you got to kind of prepare people to look at this as a business. You know, when you get into business, there's going to be expenses, and there's going to be a learning curve, and you're going to need to have money to prepare yourself to build that business over time.
I'm going to have a little, let me give an example here. This is something I use when I was a financial coach, and I would sit and do financial coaching with people all the time. And basically, here's the deal. There's a battle going on in your life, right? You don't know it. You don't think about it every day, but there's this battle going on. And basically, it's your standard of living today and the standard of living in your future. And basically, we all make money, right? We all make money. And at the end of the day, if you spend 100% of the money you earn today, eventually, when you go to retire, you're going to have nothing, right? You're going to have to take a massive step back in your standard of living. And so what happens is this balance, right? And so that's the reason 95% of Americans are screwed right now, because there's nothing to fall back on. People, there's no interest to be made. I mean, the average rate of return in the average investment account in the United States since 2000 is 0.54%. Right, so like, think about that. That's absurd.
That's crazy.
It's absurd. Actually, that was through 2014. It's updated a little bit since 2015 and 16, but it's still disgusting, right?
Yeah, it's nothing.
And so think about this. What are your dreams worth to you? You know, I can tell you this. I was a head of recruiting and development for a Fortune 1000 company. My job was to bring people into the financial industry as financial advisors, teach them how to build their business. I was dealing with thousands of clients a year. And I can tell you the number one thing I saw was people were just broke. People just don't know how to answer, and they're behind, they're desperate, and they don't know what to do. and they don't think they're even going to be able to get out of it, so they just tuck their head between their legs and pray. Like that's really what's happening. But
yeah, which is totally not the answer.
they just don't know that there's another solution out there, but that solution doesn't come easy, right? Like, and the reality is, people get into this. Most people don't get into network marketing fully prepped to be a leader, a professional network marketer. But here's what I got to tell you. You're a leader right now. You're the leader of a family. You're the leader of your friends. You're the leader of your kids. You have people in your life, anybody that you have influence over, you're a leader, right? So leadership comes with the responsibility. When you get into this business, when you get into any business, any network marketing business, as a leader, your job is to just take care of your own stuff. Be the leader that leads by example. Now, there are different phases of leadership. That's level 1 leadership right there. Just do your stuff. Know your role. Get stuff done. Look at that hashtag up there. Get shit done. That's it. Like, that is how you become a leader to begin with. And you know what? After that, when you do that and you just say, hey, listen, I'm going to get this done. Not only am I going to get done for you, when you become level 2 leader, not only are you going to be getting, done for yourself, you're going to say, listen, I'm going to just hop on. I got strong shoulders. Hop on. I got you. I'm carrying you up the hill, right? We're going to go. And guess what? We're going to get halfway up the hill. When we first start going up that hill, you're going to be like, I don't know if Chris can carry me. I don't know.
And that kind of reminds me of something that my husband always says in the military. He always makes sure that his soldiers are taken care of first.
Totally.
In the military, with chain of command and everything, if you've got a good, sergeant, whatever, they're going to make sure that their troops eat first and they're last in line.
Totally.
In other words, they take care of their soldiers before they take care of themselves. And that's what they teach in the military for leadership. And we can take a little bit of something away from that, because that's basically what you need to do when you're in network marketing, is you've got to take care of your troops underneath you.
Have you ever read Simon Sinek, Leaders Eat Last?
No, I haven't.
Awesome book. But, that's the concept is, you got to take care of yours, and you got to take their success on as your responsibility to start. You can't do that forever, but, my commitment to people when they first get on my team is, you tell me, I will do whatever I have to do to get you to a certain level of income. And for me, that level of income is about $500, right? Yeah. Because the average bankruptcy last year could have been avoided with an extra $387 a month in income.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that just so sad?
So if I can help get you out of that period, that quandary, then I've made a great impact in your life. Now, I can't do it all for you. I'm not going to make you wealthy, but I can make an extra $500 a month. And what does that go to when it goes to leadership? They're going to have a lot of people going like, hey, listen, that's a scam. It's a pyramid scheme. Your upline's making all the money off of all your work. Now you're giving them the ammunition to fire back and say, pyramid scheme. I don't know what kind of pyramid. It's an upside down pyramid, because I'm not doing really much, and my upline is doing all these things for me, and I'm making money, and I really haven't had to do much work, and it's really off of their hard work and efforts. And what happens then? You buy their loyalty, and there's nothing more valuable than loyalty when it comes to this business.
Absolutely.
People don't follow companies. People follow people.
People. Always people.
Yep. So I mean, that's it, guys. I mean, just lead by example. Understand, people don't want to do this until they see a little success, until they have a little belief in themselves. And it's your job to show them, that they can borrow your belief. And they're not just going to borrow. It's not like, hey, just, use some good lines and borrow no, be there with them, right? It's kind of like, my son's scared of the dark. He's 2 years old. He's petrified of the dark. If I leave the room and he's in there alone and it's pitch black, he cries. But if I'm in there laying next to him and it's pitch black, he just puts his head on my shoulder and we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, coaching them through the hard times. And anybody coming in, especially people new, or even people who've been in network marketing companies before, if they haven't been successful already, they need that walkthrough.
Well, you know what? And here's the deal. People are scared of failing, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I can speak to this specifically for me, because I know when I started doing this with my mentor, there were certain people, I'm pretty good at sales and calling people, and I'm not really scared of much. But there were still some people on my list that I wanted to reach out to that I was like, you know, these people, it's a little out of my league as far as like comfort zone. You know, they've had a lot more success than me. They're millionaire, you know, like $1 million plus earners and whatever they're doing. And at the time I was like, hey, listen, I don't know. But here's what I'll tell you is that having my mentor there with me, right? And this happens on all different levels. Not everybody is like starts where I was, even if you're like starting from a little more shy kind of beginning where you're a little more apprehensive about making calls to people. It all comes down to this. When the mentor is with them and they know you're there and they know you got your back, they know you have their back, they're going to go and stretch themselves a lot further. It's kind of like when we're lifting weights, I always have a spotter. Because if I'm lifting weights, I'm doing the bench press and I'm putting up 200 whatever pounds and I'm going for 12 reps or whatever, I know if I don't have a spotter, I'm going to kill myself. That bar's going to fall on my neck and I'm going to die. You know, I'm going to break my neck. I'm going to choke myself out. Something's going to happen. But if I have a spotter, I know that I'm going to do what I can do and I'm going to go till failure. And then when I fail, my spotter's got my back, right?
Exactly.
And I still push my way out of it, but my spotter's got my back. And that's really what it comes down to. And so with this, make sure that, you know, you as a leader are there with your team being the spotter. That's all you need to be. And that's it, because guess what? As it's like working out. As you do it day in, day out, you know, before you know it, you're spotting them at 200 pounds. You know, 4 weeks from now, you do it every day or 3-4 times a week. You're not going to need to spot them on 200 pounds. You're going to need to spot them on 300 pounds or 250, right? And it goes better and better. The stronger they get, the less they need to spot. You know, now, does that make sense?
Absolutely. And guys, you know, just think of, I guess Chris's little analogy of his son in the dark. You know, do you really want to leave your team in the dark? You know, it's just not a good thing. So whatever your pains and struggles were when you first got started in the industry, take a step back and think about those kind of things and do whatever you can to make things duplicatable for your team and make sure that you're there for them to walk them through those pains and struggles you already know that they're going to have. You know, it's an expectation. And honestly, if you kind of let your team know, hey, this is what I went through when I first got started, then they already know that it's an expectation, so they're not going to feel so bad about it happening to them, and they're more willing to accept your help and follow your lead at that point. So, Chris, I think we're coming up on our time here. So, guys, I really appreciate you joining us on Breaking Barriers in Business. If you're watching on Facebook Live, make sure that you get notifications from the Cash Life Mastery page. And if you're here on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to our channel. And we'll be putting information down in the comments to get in touch with Chris. And if you have any questions whatsoever, make sure you leave a comment and we will get back to you either on Facebook or on YouTube. And Chris, you want to say bye for a minute?
Yeah, I mean, guys, like this is one of the most vital things to understand, you know, when it comes to building your team and building a following and just building the foundation for your business. It's a lot of people can come in, recruit 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, and then they wonder why it all falls apart. I can't tell you how many people I talk to on a weekly basis that had that happen, and they don't understand why. And this is exactly what we've been talking about, is exactly why. So, you know, just really, really commit to that. And if you don't think you're there yet, if you don't think you're at a place where you can take that role on, I really challenge you and encourage you to become a better you. You know, like push yourself, learn, read. Surround yourself with people that can help you get there, right? Because we all need to grow. We all are doing that, and I'm committed to growing every single day in that way. And
absolutely, I mean, even coaches need coaches, and if you're not growing daily, then you're going to be stagnant. So, you know, that's just the plain and simple of it. So, guys, I really appreciate, like I said, you joining us tonight and this afternoon. And make sure that you stay tuned for our next episode tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And like I said, subscribe and share with your friends if you've got value, because sharing is caring. And I'm sure if you needed to hear it, there's somebody else you know that needed to hear it too.
Got it.
So everybody have a good night. Take care.
Have a great one.
All right. Bye-bye.